Cancer. Welcome to your August 2017 General Tarot reading. It's Rena here. Wow, I've just started your reading like 2 other times. This is the 3rd time. That last thing that I was talking about, wow, that was out there. I mean, maybe some of you would have liked it, but I don't want to get too esoteric. I just want to do your August reading, right? And I can go off on a tangent in no time flat. Before I get into this, I just wanted to make you aware that I have an additional love reading for your sign over at Vimeo. I'm starting to slowly build my my August library over there. This is the first month I've been doing it, and to provide an additional reading with love. This month it is Ready for Love. I'm doing different themes, I believe. I think that's going to be fun. And they're more like, I think how I would describe them to differ from the ones on YouTube. They're a little bit more about looking deeper into you and what you can do to attract love. So they tend to be more for single people, I guess you would say. But once again, when I did Leos, that was the first one I did, it went right into the past relationships. It's hard to do that because most people have a history. So you can check that out if you're interested. The link is below for that. And as for this reading, the first thing that popped out at me when I was picking the first few cards was a stiff upper lip. For some reason, trying to keep yourself from allowing your emotions to get the best of you. And I also said something which was a little bit, not random, but I went off on a tangent on that too, about a single woman, because a solitary woman, not a single woman, a solitary woman. The Queen of Swords can be a woman alone. Okay, so it could be, we could talk about a woman who has left her job or a woman who has left her marriage. And then I started talking about that one of my favorite movies, which I recently watched for the however many times I've watched it, was An Unmarried Woman. And this was from probably about 1978. And I just love that movie so much. And I was saying, I don't know why, but because I grew up in the 70s, I just love, I feel like that movie really encapsulates a lot of the fashions, the attitudes of that era, because I really love the 70s. So again, some people may say that's random, but whatever. That's part of my charm, right? Being random. No, I'm just kidding. So this is a card that we associate also with air signs. And so there could be a female air sign, maybe a female boss too, authority figure. And if it is a boss figure, this person she tries to be very analytical. Well, she doesn't try, she is. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. She could be of those signs. And maybe an analytical type of a job, whatever. This is the sign also of the mother, but it's a mother who is a little bit more detached. She's not touchy-feely. And you are the sign of the mother. So if you are a mother, being a mother is very important to you. Maybe you are starting to become more hands-off on your children's lives, especially if your children are adults, and you feel like you need to do that for some reason. Maybe you have to detach if you have a child, God forbid, who has an addiction. I see here with the Strength card, having to really marshal your forces, but having that strength somehow. Being given strength, maybe grace, or having it within you, finding that you had more strength than you knew. This card to me, even though we associate it with something positive, to me suggests somebody who may have been under duress. And this has a connection to Leo. So keep that portal of the new moon on July 23rd in mind, even though it's in the past position. Well, actually, hello, this is July, so, and it's before this new moon. I'm recording this on the 17th of July, so if you're watching in that period of time, particularly think of the future being that new moon, and that may usher in a new era for you. It's going to happen in the 12th house, and that may be a time when you feel a kind of strength coming from unseen forces, perhaps even. Maybe your loved ones who have crossed over, just in terms of karmic, just something that is meant to be, that is a turning point in your life for some reason. We have coming in at this time the King of Cups, so we have the King and the Queen, the father and the mother. Maybe you have the father of your child in your life, and this person is carrying maybe a water sign. Well, let's separate that. Maybe they are a water sign. He's a water sign, but not necessarily carrying, even though he's in upright position. Maybe this is just representing father water sign. So that would be Scorpio, Pisces, and another Cancer. Maybe you have to have strength in dealing with that person. Boss. Do you work for, maybe you're becoming your own boss. That's why you're the Queen of Swords. And you're taking charge. I would say in that scenario, some of you may feel guilty about leaving a place of employment because maybe that person is a very good boss. And in some cases could be even like a father to you, could be a very nurturing leader. But you, for some reason, want to strike on your own. And let me see what else I can say about him. In general, this will be a nice person. A very mature emotionally. Maybe it's somebody you attract into your reality because you are becoming less hysterical and more rational. I wonder if that's going to come across as insulting. I don't mean it that way. I mean the shadow aspects of Cancer, the clingy behavior, the the thing, your cardinal sign. When you want to, you can take inspired action, but it's that mooniness from your ruler that creates moody. I said moony, creating moodiness, creating sometimes instability emotionally. One minute you're feeling this, and the next minute, one minute you're being very sentimental, the next minute you're even downright aggressive. And perhaps you've been dealing with somebody who is not compatible with you, and this person came into your life, and it's like, finally. And sure enough, in the whatever, even if this is a career matter, we have the Four of Wands as the higher message. So it's really talking about happy home. In a spiritual message, for some it may be choosing this over a career even. Perhaps you want to raise your children, and you were torn between a career and raising your children at home. This could be moving into a new home. Maybe you have some kind of concerns about that, but maybe it's reassuring you that it is in the cards. Pardon the pun. Marriage. Very, very positive card, Four of Wands. The number 4. You're the 4 in the houses in the zodiac, where you're home and family. So that's where that comes from. But the number 4 is the number of stability. So it's like setting down these roots and having that kind of sense of continuity in your life. And so whether that is something to do with a career matter or just because you're going to be a homemaker, that is and a stay-at-home mother. I'm saying mother because it's a queen. I'm not trying to leave out the men who may be wanting to do this. If you're a male Cancer, that King of Cups could show you doing the same, because it's like this, the king is a masculine energy, but the cups is water, and that's feminine, that's nurturing. So you may be like thinking, I don't care, I want that happy home for my children. I don't want them to not be raised by either me or their mother. And so whatever it takes, I'm going to do. And you're being emotionally mature about it. What crosses you is the 6 of Wands. This is a card of victory, I would say, especially in career matters. Again, it could be that you feel like you have to turn your back on a career for whatever reason. Also, for people who are leaving their jobs to start their own, you may be leaving under less than ideal circumstances. You may be feeling disappointed. Maybe you thought you were going to get a promotion and somebody went over your head, and you're a little bit miffed about that. And perhaps you have a boss who's a little bit of a pushover and allowed people to manipulate him to get that position. But, actually, that 6 of Wands, I would say delayed success. It's not that you're not going to have it in your future. It's just that it may be something that has to be put on the back burner for now for some reason. The advisor, what's coming in, is represented by the Chariot. I do believe, this is connected to Cancer, by the way. And I think Venus goes into your sign on the last day of July. So it will be there in August. So Venus in your sign, even if you're in between jobs, if you're trying to launch something, you're going to feel this sense of, or you're going to be perceived as attractive. And people will be more likely to respond favorably to you. So that could be what's coming in for you. What else? This is about you being able to proceed, kind of like the Queen of Swords in a way. You being able to pursue your goals in a way that does not allow yourself to get sidetracked. And so it makes me think that there is something going on around you that is creating that sense of distraction or potential for distraction. And you just have to plow ahead. The Chariot is right under the Strength card, another major arcana. So kind of like marshal your forces. But really, it's a mental thing. It's a mental trick to make sure that you are being a lot more centered and not driven, but focused on exactly what it is that you want. So you have to get very clear. And that is what another thing about the Queen of Swords is, being very clear about the decisions that you're making in your life and not allowing the emotions to cloud over that. And the end result is the Queen of Wands. Again, connected to Sagittarius. I connected to Leo because of the sun, but it is a fiery energy. In some cases, especially if you are a woman, you're dealing with the feminine queen and the masculine wands or fire. Kind of the counterpoint to that, that King of Cups being both masculine and feminine. More balanced. Too much feminine makes you too passive and meek and afraid to assert yourself, to take appropriate action, and being too kind of like waiting for something to drop into your lap. And obviously, having too much masculine can result in aggressiveness and trying to force an issue. So it's kind of a perfect blend. This is great for a woman who is a boss, because the Queen of Swords can be a boss who is too kind of, I'm talking about like a female boss who is too brusque and not warm enough, and too much in her head and too concerned with what she's trying to do than really trying to connect with other people. And actually with the Wands energy, it's more like inspire others. So you can be this force of inspiration for other people. It's also possible that you will attract a mentor who represents this in your life, kind of like a life coach even, who can guide you into doing things with more enthusiasm and hopefulness. If you have a tendency to be a little bit overly cautious and afraid of what's going to happen, this person can light a fire under you and get you going. It can also, to me, indicate embracing motherhood with great zeal and not feeling like you sacrificed anything. Even if you're a male, it could be being a mother, being nurturing, but still retaining your sense of masculinity and not feeling like you're you're doing a woman's work, or you're being a stay-at-home dad is some step down for you, or what have you, or you feel like this, like you're in the passive position. You feel self-empowered by this decision. Whatever's going on, there's a real sense of strength. That's the best way I can put it. And so really good. Lots of the queens and kings. So I do think parenting may come into play here for some of you, as well as positions of authority where you have the power in a job, not as a subordinate. So in any case, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you'd like a personal reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, enjoy August. Bye.